Hello, a very, very warm welcome to you. My name is Anna, and this is the VUS Learning English Podcast. I am so happy you are here with me today. If this is your first time, welcome. We are a family of learners here. If you are coming back, welcome home. It is wonderful to have you again. Today we have a very special topic. It is a topic for anyone who has a dream of speaking English. But maybe you feel it is too late. Maybe you feel you are too old. Today, we will talk about this feeling, and I promise you will feel much better by the end. You will feel hope. Thank you so much for listening. Your time is a gift. I am very thankful for it. Before we start, I want to ask you a question. Where are you listening from today? Are you in Thailand? Are you in Japan? Are you in Brazil? Or somewhere else? Please tell me in the comments. I love to see where our learning family lives. And one more small thing. If you enjoy our time together, please think about subscribing, or you can give this episode a like. When you do this, you help our podcast grow. It helps other English learners just like you find our family. It is a small click for you, but it is a big help for us. Thank you. Okay, are you comfortable? Are you ready? Let's begin. Part 1. The old sad story. I want to ask you a question. Can you be too old to learn English? Think about your answer. What is the first thing you feel? For many years, we have heard a story. Maybe you have heard it too. It is a story about how we learn. The story says a child's brain is like a sponge. You know a sponge, yes? For cleaning dishes in your kitchen. When you put a sponge in water, it soaks it all up. It is fast. It is easy. The sponge becomes full of water. The story says a child's brain is like this. It soaks up languages. No hard work. No lessons. It just happens. But what about an adult's brain? The story says an adult's brain is different. It is not a sponge. The story says it is like a rock. A rock is hard. It is solid. Water cannot go inside a rock. The water just runs off the side. We hear this story again and again. We hear it so many times. And after a while, it feels like a fact. It feels true. We start to believe that there is a special time for learning, a window. And that window closes when we grow up. We believe our brain becomes hard, like a rock. We believe the dream of speaking English slowly goes away with every birthday we have. But I have a question for you. What if that story is wrong? What if that whole story is just a myth? A story that is not true? Think about your life. You are an adult. You have learned so much. You have wisdom. You know how to focus. You have many years of life experience. What if these things are not problems? What if they are your secret powers? Your secret weapons for learning English? What if the things that make you an adult are the keys to open the door to English, not the locks on the door? In our time together today, we will do two things. First, we will look at science, new science, happy science, science that tells a new story. Then we will meet real people, real adult learners just like you. People who were told they were too old, but they learned English anyway. We are going to tear down the old sad story, the story that says learning has a date, an expiration date, like old milk. And I will show you why right now, this moment in your life might be the perfect time to start learning English. Let's start with the big idea. The idea that makes millions of adults feel sad. The idea that stops people before they even start. Scientists had a name for this idea. It was a long name. The critical period hypothesis. Sounds very serious, doesn't it? But the idea was simple. It said there is a special window of time in your life when you are very young. During this time, your brain is perfect for learning a language. The idea said, if you miss this window, you miss your chance to be very good at a new language. It is gone forever. That is what they said. This idea was not just a feeling. It came from science a long time ago, back in the 1950s and 1960s. Scientists looked at the brain. They said the best time for learning a language is when you are a child. They thought this time ends around age 9. After that, they said the brain changes. It loses its special power, its power to adapt, to be flexible. Scientists have a word for this. They call it plasticity. Imagine clay. When clay is wet, you can make anything, a bowl, a cup, anything. It is soft and flexible. This is plasticity. The old story said a child's brain is like wet clay. It can change easily. It can make space for new grammar, new sounds. And the adult brain? The old story said it is like clay that is dry and hard. It is fixed. It is rigid. It cannot change easily. A famous scientist wrote a book about this in 1967. His name was Eric Lenneberg. He said this special window for learning ends when we are teenagers, around puberty. After that, he said, learning is not natural anymore. It becomes hard. Like a school subject you don't like, full of difficult rules. It is not a fun, natural thing. This idea did not stay in science books. It went everywhere. Into our schools, into our homes, into our minds. It became the reason for everything. Why do little children learn English so fast on the playground? This idea was the answer. Why do their parents study for years and still find it hard? This idea was the answer. The world started to believe it. The message was clear. If you want to be fluent, you must start young. You have to be a child. The image of the child's brain as a sponge became very famous. It is a simple picture, a powerful picture. A child just needs to be near the language, and they will absorb it. No work needed. But the picture for the adult was very different. The adult is building a wall. Each word is a heavy brick. Each grammar rule is difficult. The adult is fighting to learn, fighting to make sounds that feel strange. This is a very sad story, isn't it? It is a discouraging story. It makes you feel like it is not worth trying. It creates a wall in your mind, a psychological barrier. When you believe you cannot do something because you are too old, every small mistake feels big. You forget a word, and a little voice in your head says, "See, you are too old for this." You say a sentence and it sounds wrong. The little voice says, "See, your brain is a rock. It cannot change." This story makes you believe your struggles are permanent. It says they are not a normal part of learning. It says they are a sign that you will fail. And then something sad happens. The story becomes true. Not because it was true before, but because you start to believe it. The fear of failing stops you from trying. And if you never try, you can never learn. But listen to me. Listen closely. Old stories and old beliefs. Sometimes they are wrong. Sometimes they are built on only half of the truth. An incomplete picture. The story of learning a language did not end in the 1960s. No, that was just the beginning. A new chapter was starting. A chapter full of amazing new science. And this new chapter tells a very, very different story. A story of hope. A story of what is possible. A story about the amazing, powerful, wonderful adult mind, your mind. And that is the story we will hear now. Part 2, a new happy story from science. For a long time, the old sad story was very strong. It was like a high, thick wall. It kept many people out. But science is a wonderful thing. Science never stops asking questions. It never stops looking for new answers. In the last few years, new science has come. And this new science has started to break down that old wall. Brick by brick. This new science gives us a new picture. A much better picture. A more hopeful picture. A picture that says, you can do this. Let's start with a very big, very important study. This study was done by scientists at a famous university called MIT. It was one of the biggest language studies ever. The scientists studied almost 670,000 people. That is a huge number of people from all over the world. They wanted to know, how do we learn grammar? Grammar can be the hardest part of a new language. And what did they find? They found something amazing. They found that our ability to learn new grammar is very strong until we are 17 or 18 years old. Think about that for a moment. The old story said the window closes at age 9 or when you are a young teenager. This new study said no, that is not true. The window stays open. It is wide open for a long, long time. All through your teenage years. The study did say one thing. To have the perfect grammar of a native speaker, like someone who grew up with English, it is a little easier if you start before age 10. But, and this is the most important part, our ability to learn does not suddenly stop. It does not fall off a cliff. After age 18, it just begins a slow, gentle decline, like a leaf floating slowly down from a tree. Not a rock falling from a cliff. It is a slow change, not a sudden stop. This new science proves the old scary theory was wrong. The door to learning does not slam shut. It just closes very, very slowly. And the best news? It never, ever locks. You can always open it. This brings us to a beautiful idea from science. It is called neuroplasticity. That is a big word. Neuroplasticity. But the idea is simple and wonderful. Neuro means brain. Plasticity means it can change, like soft clay. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to change, to learn new things, to make new connections. And it can do this for your whole life, your whole life. The old story said the adult brain is a rock, fixed, unchanging. We now know this is 100 false. It is not true. Every time you learn something new, a new recipe, a new dance step, a new word in English, your brain physically changes. It builds a new path. Imagine a forest with no paths. The first time you walk, it is hard. You have to move branches and leaves. But if you walk that same path every day, what happens? The path becomes clear. It becomes easy to walk. Your brain is like this. Learning English is like creating new paths in the forest of your mind. And learning a new language is one of the best exercises for your brain. It is like taking your brain to the gym. Scientists can see this with brain scans. They see that when an adult learns a new language, the brain can grow. Parts of the brain get stronger, denser. A study was done in Sweden with students who were learning languages very fast. Scientists looked at their brains before and after, and they found that parts of the brain for memory actually grew bigger. This is not a story. It is a fact. Your brain is not a rock. It is a garden. And when you learn, you are planting new flowers. Your brain is growing. It is adapting. Now let's talk about you. As an adult learner, you have advantages. big advantages, superpowers that children do not have. First, you are smart in a different way. You have a developed mind. You can understand big ideas, abstract ideas. A child needs to hear a grammar rule 1,000 times. They learn by feeling it. But you as an adult can be different. Someone can explain a grammar rule to you. You can read about the past tense or the future tense, and you can understand it. You can connect the rule to what you already know. You can find patterns. You are a detective. This is a superpower. It is called explicit learning, learning with clear, focused thought. Children cannot do this, but you can. Second, you have something so powerful, motivation. A strong reason why? A child learns a language because it is around them. They don't choose it. But you do. You choose to learn English. Why? Think about your why. Maybe it is for a better job. Maybe it is to talk with your family, your grandchildren. Maybe it is to travel the world. Maybe it is to watch your favorite movies without subtitles. Your reason is your fuel. It is the energy that keeps you going. When your why is strong, the how becomes much, much easier. This is a huge advantage. Third, you are a better learner. Yes, you are. Think about it. You have been learning your whole life. You learned how to do your job. You learned how to cook. You learned how to be a good friend. You know how to learn. You know how to manage your time. You know how to set goals. You know how to find books, apps, and teachers. You know how to be responsible for your own learning. A child's learning is messy, all over the place. Your learning can be organized, focused, efficient. This is another superpower. And finally, let's think about the word success. What does it mean to be successful in English? The old sad story says success means one thing, sounding exactly like a person from New York or London, having no accent. Perfection. But is that really the goal? Is that what is important? For most of us, the real goal is connection, communication. The goal is to share your ideas, to understand other people's ideas, to build friendships, to build relationships. It is about connection, my friend, not perfection. Your accent is not a mistake. It is not a flaw. An accent is a beautiful sign of your life story. It tells the world you know more than one language. It is a sign of your courage. Be proud of it. So, you see, the science is clear. The new story is a happy one. You are not too old. Your brain is not a rock. Your age and your experience are not your weaknesses. They are your strengths, your superpowers. You have the tools. You have the focus. You have the motivation. You have everything you need to succeed. The only question is, will you give yourself a chance? Part 3. Real people, real stories. Science is wonderful. It tells us what is possible. But stories are special. They show us what is real. They touch our hearts. So now I want to tell you some stories. Stories of real people. People who were told they were too old. People who felt it was too late. But they decided to try anyway. Let's meet Milton. Milton was in his 40s. He worked in construction. His job was hard and long. Everyone at his job spoke English, but Milton did not understand them well. He felt alone. He felt stuck. He wanted to do better at his job, but he couldn't. But Milton had a very strong why. He wanted a better life for his family. This reason gave him so much energy. So what did he do? He joined an English class in the evening after his long, hard day of work. At first, it was very difficult. He was tired. He felt shy. But Milton did not stop. He was consistent. He went to every class. He started using new English words at his job. He asked his coworkers, "Is this right? Please help me." He turned his job into his English school. And slowly, something beautiful happened. The fear started to get smaller. His confidence started to grow bigger. After a few years, Milton was not just speaking English. He was fluent. He became a foreman, the leader of his team. He could speak with everyone clearly, with respect. Milton's life changed because he decided to try. Now let's meet Griselda. Griselda worked in a hotel restaurant. She had a big dream. She wanted to open her own restaurant one day. But she had a different reason to start now. Her son was learning English at school and he had homework. He would ask her, "Mom, what does this word mean?" And Griselda could not answer. This broke her heart. She felt sad that she could not help her own child. So she joined an English class. And in that class, she found more than just English words. She found a community. She met other adults, other people who had the same dreams and the same fears. They supported each other. They laughed together. In that class, Griselda felt safe. She started to practice. She practiced with the guests at the hotel. She was nervous, but she did it. And soon she was sitting with her son at the kitchen table. They did homework together. She was learning with him. English became a bridge to her son's world, and a bridge to her own dream. For many older learners, English is about one thing: independence, feeling strong and able to do things for yourself. Let me tell you about David. David came to a new country from Ukraine. He was an older adult. In his home country, he was a very smart, educated man. But in his new country, he did not know English. And without English, he felt lost. He felt like a child again. Simple things felt like big problems. Talking to the person who owns his apartment, going to the doctor, asking for directions on the street. He always needed help. So he joined an English class. It was not easy. He had to learn the alphabet again. ABC. He had to learn simple words like cat and dog. For a highly educated man, this was humbling. It made him feel small. But David kept going. With every class, he felt a little stronger. With every new word, he got a piece of himself back. He started to make his own appointments. He started to talk to people in shops. He started to build his new life by himself. English did not just give him words, it gave him back his independence, his confidence. And one more story. Lisbeth. Lisbeth was a math teacher in her home country of Peru. She was a professional. She was confident. But in her new country, without English, she felt invisible. Like nobody could see her. Like she had lost the best part of herself, her identity. She joined an English program. And in that program, she did not just learn a language. She reconnected with herself. She remembered who she was, a teacher, a professional. The classroom gave her courage. The courage to look for a job again. The courage to feel like a part of her new community. She found a job. But more importantly, she found her voice again. She was not invisible anymore. Milton, Griselda, David, Lisbeth. These are not miracle stories. These are not special, rare people. These stories happen every day, in every city, all over the world. Adults are learning English, and they are changing their lives. Do you see what they all share? First, they all had a strong personal reason to learn, their why. Second, they found a safe place to learn, a community, a place with support. And third, they were brave. They faced their fear and they decided to try. These stories destroy the old sad myth. They show us that age is not a cage. They show us that the adult mind, full of experience, full of wisdom, and driven by a clear dream, is not just able to learn. It is ready to learn. Part 4. Your journey starts now. So, we have talked a lot today. We have heard the old sad story, and we have heard the new happy story. We have heard real stories from real people. What does all of this mean for you right now, in this moment? The message is simple, it is clear, and I want you to hear it in your heart. You are not too old to learn English. Let's say it again. You are not too old to learn English. It is time to take that old sad story and throw it in the trash forever. The idea of a critical period was based on old science, an incomplete picture. New science shows us that your brain can change, it can grow, it can learn for your entire life. This is neuroplasticity, and it is your gift. Learning a language like English is one of the best things for your brain's health. It keeps your brain young, strong, resilient. Some science says it might even help your brain stay healthy as you get much older. Remember this feeling. Your age is not a problem. It is your power, your superpower. You have smart ways to learn. You have a life full of experience. And you have your why, your reason. And that is the most powerful engine for learning. So, how do we do this? How do you turn this good feeling into real action? Let's make a simple plan. Just a few steps. First, change your goal. Let go of the idea of being perfect. Perfection is a heavy bag to carry. Put it down. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is connection, clear communication. Celebrate the small wins, every single one. Did you order a coffee in English? Wonderful. Celebrate. Did you understand a joke in a movie? Amazing. Celebrate. Did you have a 5-minute conversation? You are a champion. Second, love your adult brain. Don't try to learn like a child. You are not a child, and that is a good thing. Use your adult superpowers. Look up grammar rules if you are curious. Use apps with flashcards to remember words. Analyze patterns. Your ability to learn in a focused way is your advantage. Use it. Third, make English a part of your life. Don't just study for 1 hour and then close the book. Live with English. Change the language on your phone to English. It will be hard for one day, then it will be easy. Listen to English music. Even if you don't understand the words, feel the rhythm. Listen to podcasts for learners like this one. Watch movies you already love in English. First with subtitles in your language, then with English subtitles. Then one day with no subtitles at all. A little bit every day is better than a lot one day a week. Consistency is your best friend. Fourth, get over the fear of making mistakes. This is the biggest wall for most adults. Children do not care if they sound silly, but we do. We are afraid of looking foolish. You must give yourself permission to be a beginner. It is okay to not know. It is okay to make mistakes. Every mistake is not a failure. A mistake is a sign that you are trying. A mistake is your brain learning. It is your brain building a new path in the forest. The only real mistake is not to try at all, because you are afraid of being wrong. And fifth, find your people. Learning a language can feel lonely sometimes, but it does not have to be. Join a class in your town. Find a group online. Find a language partner. A safe and supportive group is a treasure, a place where you can practice and nobody will judge you. This is so important. Your journey to learn English starts with one small thing: a decision. A decision to believe in yourself. A decision to ignore the old sad stories. A decision to start today. Not tomorrow. Today. You have a whole life of wisdom inside you. You have stories to tell. You have ideas to share. Learning English is not about becoming a new person. It is about sharing the wonderful person you already are with more people, with the world. I want to build a community of inspiration right here in the comments of this podcast. Please share your story. Are you an adult learning English? What is your journey like? What is your big why? Your story could be the one story that another person needs to hear. Your story could give someone else the courage to start. Let's prove together that there is no age limit on dreams. There is no age limit on learning. The time has not passed you by. Your brain is ready. It is waiting. The opportunity is here. Right now. The only question left is, will you take it? Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It was an honor to be with you. Keep going. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. You are doing a great job. Remember to subscribe or follow if you enjoyed our time together. It helps our community grow, right? Until next time, my friend, take care and keep learning. See you next time, my friend.